Yo! Video games.
How you guys feeling?
To your latest games as a service media!
Alright, Moonanite's up in this, right?
You weren't here for my excitement, and then like
missed
2
so
second
much.
like fall. I was
You
like,
missed
yeah,
so
and then
much.
oh.
He was so excited, and because I was ahead on everything, I was like, Steam and mobile! He's like, what? No!
No. No.
I was so excited, and then I was so upset.
So they're not even so they're not even remasters. They're just
Pixel
pixel perfect. So
yeah,
they're
pixel perfect.
it's like emulating that shit properly.
Okay, but if you think about it, the versions that are currently on Steam are from the old iOS versions, which have that like
Yeah.
soft, rounded.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Grandia
yeah.
blur. That Grandia blur.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
H2X filter.
Yeah, that rob it of its
So
original glory.
it's not bad because 4 and 6 in their pixel versions are still great. So if they get pixel perfect versions, that's awesome.
Sure, but it's like emulation's been doing that for fucking like 30 years.
Cherry on the top. Cherry on the top. Let us reread this tweet. Each Final Fantasy title will release individually.
Individually.
And will be coming to Steam and mobile platforms.
Oh no! Oh no! Individually.
Yeah,
Cue the
individually.
monkey's paw. Cue the monkey's paw.
Oh no!
Chris has been waiting to drop that. He's been waiting.
Man, I've been popping off this entire conference. This has just been one like. Nintendo will say there's no saving this.
Oh
There's
man!
no saving that.
Oh man! You pay us money, Jesus!
The only way you're gonna be able to justify that is if it's $5 a pop, and you know that they're not gonna do that.
They're gonna individually sell pixel perfect emulated. Oh my god!
I mean, I guess bright side, buy the ones you want. Bad side, oh no, are you kidding me?
Nah, there's no way.
No,
There's no way they're $13. That is the biggest fucking scam. Bro, I could spend 5 minutes finding this shit to emulate online like perfectly. I have a copy of
I was
Final
gonna say, I
Fantasy
think I
3
can-
in my drawer over there for SNES.
It's not the. We're not making fun of the fact that it's not on console, which already pisses Al off. We're making fun of the fact that this could have been a great consumer move that they just shit all over.
Oh my god.
Like I'll be real. This entire conference, the only thing I even have remote interest in now is that Koei Tecmo game.
Yeah.
But your demo is going live in like an hour or so.
Yeah, I gotta admit, like that demo wasn't really all that exciting. Like the character designs look kind of bleh, and like the dialogue was a little eh. I don't know, like it looked okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't blowing my dick off.
It's still early too, so.
No. I'm not even gonna try and like bullshit myself with that. It sounds bad. It looks as polished as Dissidia NT did. What's got me excited is that the combat looks solid, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it's the Neo people, so.
Yeah.
Yo, dog, I heard you like chaos. Oh.
Let's just put it this
We
way.
had 20 minutes of a
A
no.
fucking event
Hold
of
up.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That
Hold up.
pissed me off.
I found this tweet came across my timeline. Final Fantasy series, 45 seconds. Mana series, 45 seconds. New IPs, 30 seconds.
Bro, shut
Marvel
the fuck up.
IPs, 35 minutes.
Jesus Christ, you're like the fucking worst try-hard troll. Say something stupid and my boy Chris is gonna bop you next time. For good.
Oh, fuck, guns out? Alright, yeah, guns out.
Oh.
The second time he's tried to fucking troll with that. Shut up.
No, but let's just... This was not a Square Enix conference. That's my problem. This was not a Square Enix conference.
Twitch main is pissing over the presentation. Nice. Good. Good. Everyone expects me to piss over the presentations. But the mainstream media is not having it. That's good.
That fucking the Guardians of the Galaxy 1, it looks like shit, and then it looked like it ran like shit.
Yeah,
When they,
it
like,
ran.
shuddered.
It ran poorly and in combat.
Oh, when he did that,
The slide back. Oh my
the
god,
slide
the
in,
frame.
it dropped
The
to, like,
frame rate was like
20.
chug. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. All Final Fantasy in one package on mobile costs $70.
Receipt. I want to see receipts.
Yeah, receipts.
I'm gonna treat this the same way I treat every single leak, bullshit, banter, rumor. Give me the receipts.
Yeah, receipts, baby. That's like $11.
A game.
$12. $12. It's like basically $12 a game.
And let's be real, the only games we're getting on that is 4 and 6. So if you really gotta have 1, 2, and 3, go feel free, but they haven't aged well. I kind of don't ever like, as much as I like saying I like the old Final Fantasies. 4 and 6, yes, but 1 and 2 do not play great. They are like they're really the early original RPGs that have not aged well.
Five sucks outside of the job system. Like
It does.
the story
Not
characters
great.
world in 5 is bleh.
Listen, OG Final Fantasy is a great game if you have ×2 speed and your hand on the A button the entire time while you got a movie watching. You know, it's a great game.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
4 and 6. I like paying attention to the story.
We don't know. All we know is they are pixel remasters.
Yeah, they're doing that thing like with the SNES minis, where they have like the pixel perfect version.
I mean, Pixel Perfect's an option on most emulators and has been for a while. Where's my fucking... Damn it!
I feel like we were excited and then we were let down, Simmons, in this Square Enix thing.
Well, I mean, I did not expect Babylon's Fall to be a fucking live service game with pay to progress shit. Like, I could be wrong about my big brain. That's fine. That's fine. Someone on the inside fucking lied to me. But but a live service title? A live service title with pay to progress? Fuck that. That's like it couldn't just... Okay, you can't just be wrong about your big brain. No, you gotta be wrong, and it's gotta be the worst fucking thing ever. Worst possible. We're on the worst fucking timeline. Oh.
I want to bring this up because I feel like...
Well, okay, and like live service, I don't know, I knew it was going to be a multiplayer game. Like, we kind of knew from the first concept art years ago. I was like, okay, it's probably going to be like a 4-player thing, but that could be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind trying a co-op platinum game. That could be fun. Pay to progress? Pay to skip progression, though? Shit.
Hold on. Well, let me bring this up because I just saw it come across. One of our own community members. To the people who said the Square Enix presentation was bad, would seeing Kingdom Hearts or 16 related information be the saving grace for you or no? It's got nothing to do with the context of what was displayed. It's got to do with, like, spread apart the static and see what's being offered. It's not good.
Yeah, to me, it's more about the fact that, like, here's a Guardians of the Galaxy game, and however you want to feel about that game's presentation or whatever, or like the way it looks or plays is here or there, but like it does run it did choke on frame rate, and it is impossible to play on stream. What's up, Emmeline? Yeah. Like that's the thing. It's like, here's this Guardian of the Galaxy game. Oh, by the way, every time you do a fucking special move, we're gonna play like some fucking hugely famous licensed 80s pop song. Goodbye, streamers and YouTube gamers. Like, okay, great. Yeah. Well, can't play this game with anyone. What the? So yeah, that happened. Like, you know what needs to happen here, though? I'll tell you what needs to happen. Is like, we need to have like a moment where like something like fucking let me see if I can find it. No, fuck off.
Max, we're in the podcast.
Oh no, is Max here?
Hold up.
Yeah,
hold up, Max, I got you.
Oh man, he's Max coming in late.
Max,
oh Jesus, man.
Come on in. Doors open.
Yeah, doors open if you want. Oh man, that I get what they were doing, but it was there's the long form developer interview where it looks a little bit better, but like they're doing exactly what Skyward Sword did, and it has the exact same problem, man. It just looks blurry. It just looks like a fucking N64 game. Like,
yeah, I wasn't the only one who thought that either. I was okay.
No.
I want to make sure.
Hi.
Sorry.
That
Hello.
shit looked like trash.
I know. The hell? What the fuck, man? Oh
that shit
my
looked
God.
like I'm like, this game could look really cool if it didn't look like total shite.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on
like,
with the visuals?
Well, I first people were like, "Why does the visuals look so bad?" Then I'm like, "Oh, I know what they're doing. They're doing an art impressionistic oil painting." And then they confirmed that in the
oil painting.
And they confirmed that in the longer developer interview Square put up, and we watched all of it. But like, it looks like an N64 game. Like,
well,
it doesn't.
There was like, if I saw a 4K version of it, maybe it would look like, okay, maybe it's gonna look sharper. Maybe it's just the fucking bit rate or like some weird filter they're putting over the screen to make it look this way. Like,
yeah.
it's just Twitch or something. But with all the trailers are 1080p and they all look like pure fucking ass.
Yeah, no, they do. There's one. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the spot from the long form where it didn't. Like, you kind of got what they were going for a bit there, better, but like it's still just.
Yeah, I was genuinely miffed by it. I'm like, this game looks like it could be really cool.
It could be.
And then it had everything going against it as they kept talking about it. Like, on the show I was just on, I literally forgot I watched it.
Yeah.
And then they ended with a lot. It's a live services game, by the way. And then you're like,
I know. That's what I mean. It's like the trailer happens, and then it has possibly like the worst voice acting I've heard in a trailer.
Yeah,
since,
it
like,
was
mid-2000s.
It was rough sounding, right?
Come and play our game, Max. We have pizza.
And then they have like the main bad guy is the Swedish chef. I'm like,
oh yeah. The guy at the end, he's like,
I'm like, what is happening?
So like here, it's like, yeah, I get what they're going for here, right? Like I kind of get it. Like
I thought it was very menacing.
Like
it looks like a Photoshop filter. It just looks like
right,
the generic, like painted effect Photoshop filters.
Right. It just kind of has that like just smudged like. It just reminds me a lot of Skyward Sword, like when they wanted to go, we're doing an impressionistic art style, like they were doing an impressionistic watercolor. I'm like, yeah, this one just looks blurry, great. Like,
so it's 100% Square Enix's Godfall, which is hilarious because they both have fall in the title.
Yeah, they.
Yep.
Oh
they're
my
both
God, that's
going
true.
to fall.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Why would anyone aspire to be Godfall?
What's up, Nico?
You noticed he was here?
It was better because the old art style of the game was just brown.
Yeah, just generic and brown. But here's my problem. Here's my real problem with doing this, is that it's a platinum action games game, right? So you're gonna have a lot of fast movement, a lot of like shit, sparks flying and stuff, and that's just gonna make shit harder to see and decipher on screen when you're doing this smudged impressionistic effect. Like it's like these games benefit when they're clear, like when they're very crisp. You want
it kind of made me Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just saying you just want to be able to have like good visual fidelity at all times to follow your character and their movements and the enemy's movements. Basically, was all I was gonna say.
So
yeah.
Go ahead, Nico.
No, I was just gonna say it sort of reminded me a little bit of what like Vagrant Story kind of went with when it was released. Like it had sort of this, like Vagrant Story had this kind of impressionistic style of like the painting of all the environments, but everything was still sharp. Like you could clearly see characters. Models were very visible. Everything was still crisp enough where you could determine. And I mean, the art style of that game was fantastic. And it feels like they were sort of trying to go for something like that, but it just came across as like. Yeah, like they just took a thing of Vaseline and just rubbed it all over the game.
Even watching Simmons stream right now as he's scrubbing through it, it looks messy as fuck, dude.
Right,
like,
it does.
I can barely even make out what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, granted it's a video, but but this is what I'm talking about. Like the clarity of the visual fidelity is just kind of like lost because there's so much like smudge. But this line right here is what killed the whole game for me. Right here is that he's talking about the season pass and things you can buy, and he says items that can help with game progression as well as cosmetics you can show off to other players. Like this guy from Platinum like just flat out says we're going to have items to
battle pass.
Yeah, we're going to sell you objects in game that will expedite player progression.
Oh, that's so bad,
you can literally.
Whoa! Chad is saying the Final Fantasy Origin demo is today.
It is today.
It's in an hour.
Yeah, it's in like 20 minutes from what I heard.
Motherfucker. So okay, well, let's talk about that shit, right?
Oh
so
yeah.
In my fucking brain, right? In my primordial monkey brain, I heard Neo devs working on a classic Final Fantasy like Neo style dungeon romper. Souls-like. I'm like, sick. I'm thinking Warrior of Light gear, Kane-looking armor,
right?
Bright, colorful shit.
And you just get dude, bro.
Like, Magic City Man is the main.
T-shirt.
Nah, man. Nah, dude. Slim Shady just had to go down to the gas station for a couple bags of chips.
Eminem walks in, he's like, I gotta kill
Chaos.
Dude. And it's like Tetsuya Nomura, the main character designer. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. And I'm like, yo, what the hell are these three dudes?
Well, someone made a good point. Maybe it's part of character customization, right? Like maybe that's like a big aspect of the game.
Hope so.
Oh yeah.
If it is, then that was a very bad decision to be like, all right, let's just show off his default gear.
Show his OC career.
Yeah,
Granted, I think the armor is going to be changeable like Neo, but I was expecting a much different aesthetic, right? Like the classic Final Fantasy Warrior of Light, even the dude, like the main dude, the Chaos Man now, right? Like these classic Final Fantasy villains are like very colorful and bright and this like sort of living, breathing world, and this just looked dark and brooding and dark. I was expecting it to look a lot more like Neo, which has
he has a picture of the dude bros.
Yeah, this was posted
it's possible maybe this is
YoVideogames.
just like one location and maybe it'll look a little different, but yeah, I mean it definitely was just like, oh, okay, so it's really dark and kind of bluish tint everywhere, and Gothic castle style.
Okay, I think there's another thing not related necessarily to Stranger in Paradise, but I mean I don't know how Max feels about it. But I feel like Square kind of like killed their own game with Guardians when he did the special move and it starts playing like pop music. And I was like, oh no, nobody can stream this now. Nobody.
Yeah, on my end. Okay, so here's the gimmick. On Twitch's end, they actually play different music there. Or Square had a DMCA free version.
Right,
so
on YouTube.
Sure there's going to be a streamer mode in the game where they actually make their own songs. It played like this generic sort of like Sonic the Hedgehog-y rock theme.
Okay.
That it seems like was original for the game.
Yeah, because they said, they said
like a DMCA free version.
I hope so. I mean, you think they might have mentioned something like that, but like, because I know Square said on YouTube Premium they were going to have a DMCA friendly stream of the conference.
Yeah, Square essentially rendered out on Twitch was the DMCA free version. It rendered out the entire conference without the music. So it became, and we talked about it on the Twitch Gaming podcast, where dude, there was moments in Life is Strange where there was no music ever in that trailer.
So it was like me
going over this emotional state of its characters, and you hear it's just silence.
Yeah.
Just deathly silence. I know. I actually started playing music on my I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just throw on my own music. It's just so weird and jarring.
bizarre.
Why couldn't they just stick some generic bullshit?
I mean,
in there?
I would
are just
really hope that there is like a streamer friendly mode, because I feel like they just like you just killed the
There will
game.
be.
Like
No, there
you
100%
can't
will be.
you
They're aware
can't
of it.
stream this or put it on YouTube if every time
already
you.
they already had unique music in the version that I was watching.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
they're already aware of it.
I would really hope that is something.
I gotta go see what songs they played. Were they playing like?
So when Star-Lord popped his special move, when I don't give a damn about my reputation.
Yeah, they played
Good
Bad
afternoon,
Reputation.
everyone.
They played Bonnie Tyler's "I Need a Hero" constantly,
Yeah,
both in
yeah.
the initial trailer
Okay, well, that
and throughout
excites me, but did they overdo it?
a little bit with Bonnie Tyler. Like "I Need a
God
Hero"
damn
was
it.
kind of played
I
a
love that
lot,
song.
but I mean it's fine, but it was just kind of like well, at first I was like, okay, whatever, it's just trailer music. Of course they're gonna do this, and that's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy's thing. Star-Lord's listen to headphones all the time, yada yada. But then when he's during the gameplay, he pops the music during his special move. I was like, oh shit, we just Tony Hawk this game.
Here's what's funny. The best thing that was at Square's event was Guardians.
It definitely got the most time for sure. I actually
Well,
just
it got the most
it got
time, but
20 minutes.
honestly,
I feel-
even things in Final Fantasy Origins,
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of weird.
yeah, it's kind of. I actually just feel bad.
Battlegrounds, this is kind of weird.
Weird. I just kept saying I feel really bad for these developers because, like they said, they're making a single player story driven campaign for a Guardians game, but everyone's just going to keep going back to Avengers. Like I feel like Avengers kind of poisoned that well a bit. For some people, where I'm just like, man.
to me, Guardians seems like everything people wanted. from
Right.
Avengers to me.
No, and I that's kind of my point. Is like I feel bad because I feel like these guys were trying to make this really cool Guardians game, and everyone's just gonna think it's like an online like live service style. It's like it's not, because
Well, I definitely didn't get that impression at all, especially.
I mean, I didn't.
I'm Star-Lord's the only playable character.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Some people were noticing. They're like, "Wait, you can't play as the other characters." I'm like,
Nope.
"It does not look like it."
To me, it all seems like a direct answer to the fact that a lot of the gameplay focus of Avengers was lost because there was so many different playable characters, and they could never really find cohesion in that game, especially because it was online and all connected. But now it's like, oh, well, this game is just essentially Mass Effect Uncharted, but now you're Guardians characters.
Yeah,
the
Mass
banter
Effect
was like the only thing that threw me off. But they bantered a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
they're definitely
I
pushing
agree.
for the Guardians of the movie style. I mean that's probably I'm guessing that's how it is in the comics too. But
Yeah.
it also has the weird problem of like these characters look nothing like the movie counterparts, by design,
Yeah,
by
That's what I was
intention.
gonna say.
Which sucks in a way because it's like people won't be. There's a lot of people who are just gonna be like, "Who the hell is this? More great value Avengers."
I know it's like unreasonable to expect them to actually like go in there and like
Well,
actually
here's-
pay for these guys. 'Cause
Well-
if they did it, that would cost probably like half the budget of the game. If they were like, we have to get the real life voice actors and their like likenesses.
I
mean,
I
it
don't
would
know.
be a
I-
big deal. Like that'd be really
For some
increased
reason,
player.
to me, the character designs are so dramatically altered in this game that it doesn't come across as their stunt doubles to me.
Yeah, Star-Lord looks
To
like
me,
a
this seems
completely
fine.
different dude. He
Yeah,
doesn't.
They look like this is the comic book version of these characters
Yeah,
instead of the movie
like
version.
it's like it's Green Drax, from the comic and stuff like that.
But that's a different case for Avengers. Avengers was we're gonna go for the movie versions, but our own unique movie versions of these
Yeah,
characters,
like
so it
they're
comes
going-
across as their stunt doubles.
yeah, they're going for
like
like
would've
the.
been
Gamora
better
and
with
Drax
that, though, if
look
they'd
completely
actually-
different.
If they'd actually changed the style of the game to be like more comic booky in that case, it's the fact that it's still like the photorealistic, like it's still my mind still goes like I'm expecting Drax to look like the Drax from the movie. I'm still expecting Star-Lord to look like Star-Lord from the movie. I'm not really familiar with the comics, so I can't really be like, oh yeah, that's comic book Star-Lord or something. I just go, man, this does not sound like Star-Lord or just, like, he's-
But yeah, you're right, Nico. But you know what though? Like there are examples of it working because you have the Batman Arkham games and you have Spider-Man, and they're nothing like
That's
they.
true.
They
That's
look
true.
they look
You're right.
nothing like their movie counterparts. They don't sound like their movie counterparts.
Yeah,
but they're,
to me,
but,
it's not like incredible, but it's fine. I think this
Yeah.
is. I think this doesn't give you the immediate negative impression that sort of Avengers did with the porn cast.
yeah, like yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess I think more it's like, okay, so how does the gameplay loop work? Is it kind of like Mass Effect where you just get to go to these different planets and do these little side quests? That would actually be
Probably 100%.
that'd actually
The
be pretty
gameplay
cool.
Seems like genuinely kind of interesting to me. The only problem is I don't know how it's going to feel. It looks a little floaty and awkward, which is probably my biggest criticism of it.
Yeah, the part where he's fighting like the two like dog flower head things, and there's a part where like he's scooting around like on his back, and like the frame rate took a giant dump.
Oh no, yeah, the frame rate.
yeah, I
there,
couldn't
there's some moments in the
believe it.
trailer that is rough.
Yeah,
I could not believe they didn't cut that. I was like, what the fuck? It dropped to like
didn't-
10 frames. I'm like, what the?
That
Okay.
went through
Yeah.
approval, got signed on by the director. So like, yeah, no, send it out. That looks good.
yeah.
You know what? I
Look
think
up
there
the
was
game
even
where-
more in that trailer, so you can actually see random jump cuts and like they'll be like, all right, we're gonna fight this guy, and this time we're like just like in the middle of the fight, and you're like,
Yeah,
I
they're
bet that was
doing-
the exact reason.
Yeah, they were
It's
doing
like
little
the whole
skips
moment
ahead.
of the frame rate
Fighting,
was
like you can L2 R2 like trigger commands to all the other teammates, and they get their own supers and stuff, and sort of like build combos and juggles. I'm like, oh, so it's literally kind of like Final Fantasy VII ATB stuff, where you have your other players and you sort of give them commands.
I'm literally
Instead, you
looking
just
at.
control them in this.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at like the UI. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah,
this
so
is
you
this is a
you
lot
just
of.
control Star-Lord? Is
You
that
can do
it-
you
or-
can do a lot of shit. It looks kind of neat.
I'm actually looking at like how the UI looks, and I'm like, this actually looks a lot like how Xenoblade 2 does it with the hotkeys, with the D-pad
Oh, yeah.
and the ABXY. It's like, yeah, this is how you do the commands like for that. Well, in that game, you use shoulder buttons to command your team.
Is it confirmed
Yeah, I
that you
don't
only
think-
control Star-Lord?
I don't
Like,
know.
He's the only guy that you're actually.
I think so. It feels
really-
like it is.
This whole conference between Babylon's Fall being weird and like, why does it look this way? Like the whole time I was watching it, I was sort of miffed. And then between Final Fantasy Origins being easily the most excitable thing of the entire show, where suddenly like the characters look super weird, and it's a lot darker and definitely more edgy than I was expecting it to be, but not in like a good way. I don't know. I think shockingly, probably the game that left me with the best impression was maybe even Guardians, because I'm hoping that I'm going to fire up Origins today and it's just badass. But
Yeah,
from that
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit they
yeah.
showed off, I was like, this looks good.
it was
right?
weird.
Clearly looks good, but it
yeah.
wasn't looking what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, it off is what I would say. I don't
It just
know,
looks,
like
it feels off. Yeah, it feels like a. I hate to say it, but from that trailer, it feels like a modern day interpretation, like Dirge kind of feeling game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
uh,
By the way, I think the demo comes out at 8 p.m. your time and 11 for us. I don't think it comes out in 20 minutes. According to they had an English. They first released a Japanese thing that talked about the trial version coming out, and then they had an English one. Actually, let me see if I have the link for it. Hold on.
so it
Share
is
with you
playable
guys.
today.
It is though. It is playable
Okay.
today. Let me get
Well, that's what
the.
I'll be doing tonight. We'll be checking that shit out. We'll probably have a YoVideogames and we'll talk about stuff. I don't know if Kenny or Steve
Yeah.
got together to check any of this stuff out.
So-
how did you guys feel about Xbox, Simmons?
You know, okay, you want to know what the two most exciting things were on Xbox for me? Were and you're gonna know this. It was fucking Pirates of the Caribbean and Top Gun. I was like,
Really?
they were so
Love
out
that.
of left field to me. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Those were
Here, I'm
genuinely
leaving a-
surprising.
leaving the
I
link
think
to you guys if you want to see it. Over
Yeah.
in general.
there was so little like Xbox. I can completely acknowledge that Xbox had like a lot of really good stuff and a lot of stuff that's going to appeal and make things great for them moving forward. But there was nothing that really like shocked me outside of movie tie-ins.
yeah. Like
There
everything.
was that one amazing looking like pixel game that we finally saw after like 3 years.
Oh yeah, that game was fucking insane. I was like,
It
oh
looked
shit.
great. I was like,
Oh,
fuck, dude, this
cool
looks
looking.
cool as hell.
What was it called? Rebranded or something like that?
Something, something.
Contraband? Or no?
No.
not-
The 2D cyberpunky game.
It's
Re-
like Blade Runner looking
yeah.
game.
Yeah,
It looks so. The moment I saw that, I was like, oh my god.
Re-
Yeah, that looks
replaced.
great.
Yeah, replaced or whatever.
Replaced, yeah,
that's it.
replaced probably was like the best looking game I would like to play. But then there was like, you know, cheeky stuff like Party Animals and stuff like that. I'm like, great, this looks great, right?
Which
Am I thrilled emotionally about this? No.
Which funny
But at
enough
the same time,
was a console exclusive. That plastered
Yeah,
on
they
there.
snatched up console rights, or at least some early exclusivity window for Party
What I
Animals.
was actually shocked was that that game's not coming out till 2022. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Really? How much?
Okay.
How much more do you want to put in here? What else is there? It didn't even look that much different. I was like, oh, there's a monkey now. I can be a gorilla.
No, I can be a
Got
gorilla.
But like, I was like, man, I don't know.
I feel like this E3 so far, and we still have Nintendo and Capcom, but I don't think we're getting dick at Capcom.
Yeah, and I've kind of like a couple days ago I was starting to feel like, you know what? I don't think Nintendo's going to show all their big hand stuff. I think
Maybe not.
yeah.
I feel like this E3 so far has not really hit a lot of expectations, and I'm definitely feeling the lack of Sony. I'm
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
100%.
I think
like,
you know what it
the
is.
play part of it is
Yeah.
starting to feel it.
Well, that Horizon thing they did at the end of May was actually really good. I thought like they had this really cool like pre-show thing of just showing the environments for hours, and then there was like this really cool demonstration of Horizon 2. So that's awesome. But the problem is like we're kind of missing a sort of like showstopper for that. You know,
The only showstopper this year so far has been Elden Ring.
yeah. Elden Ring
that
was.
that was Thursday, the first day.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was like the beginning. Like I think the first big reveal being obviously Elden Ring is going to be the thing for the whole show. It really is.
It
I
might
was
be.
really expecting Sony to show up at the Summer Games Fest to like be more of a presence. I mean, I guess they did technically since there was like the Sony indie stuff. but-
Well, they
but it was
announced
definitely
They announced
not
a new studio, Deviation Studio. They announced director's cut for Death Stranding, and then there was like some indie thing, some indie stuff there. So like you could kind of tell like if Sony were to do a state of play, it would have been like those 3 or 4 things at Jeff's show, and then they would have had a big Horizon ending, and that might have been all Sony was willing to show for E3 if they did have an E3. Maybe I don't know.
It almost makes you wonder if these guys like they see the lineup of games and like potentially like they're like, all right, here's what we're gonna be showing alongside your stuff, and they're like, oh, this is pretty shit. You know what? I think I'm gonna wait for our next state of play. That's really what we're gonna be showing
I mean,
off.
actually, that stuff can happen. People can get like tipped off about things and be like, okay, like let's do this, let's not do this. You know what's surprising to me? Speaking of showstoppers, right? We had your Elden Ring and your Horizon 2, right? I can't believe Microsoft showed so little of Halo Infinite. Like,
Yeah,
It was just the
they had an
multiplayer
opportunity
too,
to
right?
show off single player shit, and they just showed like a sprawling shot of the environment.
yeah, they
They're
just
like,
did. They
"Look,
did.
We fixed it.
They did a flyby, and then they did a cutscene where he's talking to not Cortana, and then here's some multiplayer. You know, just some like a Call of Duty style multiplayer trailer. I was like, you know, for a game that had to be bumped back a whole year, it felt weird that they didn't want to like really show it off because they spent. I don't know if you saw, but they spent a long time on Forza 5. And then there was there was like some other game I feel like
Forza
they spent
5
some...
didn't look fucking amazing.
Whoa,
but it's
yeah,
like,
graphically it looked
it's
fucking...
Forza, you know? You just expect it to always be there.
You know what was funny though about that? I was watching that and I went, you know what's weird about this? They never show a car crash into another car. Like, specifically. Like, they do all these close calls and those cars never actually... There's never a car crash ever shown in Forza. Probably because they're all licensed.
Is that because there's not really like much destruction physics in those games? Am I like wrong about that? I haven't really played much.
Well, the thing that's haunted Gran Turismo for years is that they could not show collision detection or collision damage. I'm sorry, on cars, because if they wanted to get every single car manufacturer in existence in Gran Turismo, they had to all they all wanted. No one can bash our car. So I'm assuming that's what's happened with Forza a bit, where it's like, okay, like these people do not want to see their cars, you know, all fucked up, you know, in a video game. So I'm assuming that's what I'm, because the game is gorgeous, but it was weird how there was just like, there's no like.
Yeah, I know. Everyone was like waiting for it, like oh.
The most polite extreme. Yeah, it's like the most polite extreme race car drivers ever.
It's like The Simpsons, where everyone's at like NASCAR, like watching the cars go around circles, and one car gets like hits the side, flips up in the air, and everyone in the audience goes, and then it flips over and it lands right side up and just drives off. And they all go, oh, somebody crashed already.
Dude, that main character to Final Fantasy Origins is the main character. He's like the Geralt. I don't think there's characterization.
Oh man. Well, I hope there's a lot.
Like it's about this angry man's story.
Well, I really hope there's a lot of armor options then.
Yeah, let me just cover his face up.
Yeah.
Simmons, I got that for you. It's called pre-order bonus. Get the OG Warrior of Light armor set.
Oh man.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
I hate how right you probably are with that.
He's so right about that. You know they're gonna do that.
Of course they are. Why wouldn't they?
Now, this game, Eminem stars as the Warrior of Light.
Yeah.
What up, Carl? I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, Microsoft was interesting in the fact that like there was a lot of stuff that they showed. It was not this like oh, we're gonna talk about analytics, or we're gonna talk about Game Pass, and what's in the hardware of our system. No, they actually like, here's a game, here's a game, here's a game, here's a game. Whether or not you like them or not is kind of up to you. But they at least were not. It didn't feel like, okay, oh, I know what the other game they showed a long time was Stalker 2, which graphically did look good. But I don't know. I don't know that I don't know if I'd ever play it, but it's like, well,
something about the Microsoft event, I think just appeals towards like a Bethesda crowd,
Yeah.
people that flip out about Bethesda games.
Mm-hmm.
But even considering the Bethesda crowd, what did they show? They showed
Starfield.
a teaser for Starfield that isn't coming out for a year and a half.
Yep.
And that's it. There was no next Skyrim.
Yeah.
Was there anything else really that was?
No.
Fallout
It doesn't feel like they had a lot of time, but I don't remember
They
them.
said Skyrim again. It's Skyrim's 10th anniversary, Max.
Yeah, they
you know
did
what
say
that means.
Skyrim.
Time to release it
That's
again
true.
in 4K.
Yeah,
8K.
no. Yeah, they showed Fallout 76 update stuff, like roadmap. That was.
Yeah, I think the best well done trailer was
Oh,
Outer Wilds 2.
Technically, that last game they showed was a Bethesda game. The Bite Twitter.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What? Dude, we're saving
that's
our
the game
last
they wanted to finish
announcement
off
at this event for
Left 4 Vampires.
essentially Vampire for Blood. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and it's a CG trailer. I'm like,
Left
and
4
like,
Vampire.
hero,
Back
four-player
4
co-op
Vampires.
You guys
open world
noticing like
game?
a
Okay.
similar? Has anyone noticed like a similar tone in a lot of Bethesda's games where it's like, "Hey, what's up? It's me and my posse out here hanging out in this crazy fantasy world, gonna be shooting guys up."
It
with
looked
their
like
guns.
Fortnite
Man,
Vampire.
we're so cool. High five, bro! I just got a headshot.
Well, Nico, you're right, but you're a little more Gearbox. Like Gearbox is like
Yeah,
Gearbox is like
yeah.
Gearbox is like this like the super nth level of dude bro, where Bethesda is kind of like the more dry, cynical, but still like it's still the same tone, but like a little more like cynical. We're
Like
Gear-
Deathloop is kind of the same way, where it's like it's very tongue in cheek, like
Yeah.
I'm stuck in this
Yeah,
time
yeah.
loop, but I'm having a good time, it's
Yeah.
like
yeah.
So-
You're not wrong, but like to me it's like
I think after a while it starts to become very like okay, all right, like everyone's got to be like talking like smack and like having a smart mouth on them, and I don't know, it starts to feel like you are really starting to just check boxes off a big list of like, well, I gotta have this in my game,
which is
in
why
my
I
game.
kind of like the Outer Worlds 2 trailer, where they're just like they're gonna show this,
I know,
and then
I
it's
like
gonna
that
be
too.
that, and then it's like, and then the only thing that's actually done is
He's
the
gonna be
title.
silhouetted because we don't have the model ready.
Yeah, we don't.
Look at this tweet I just posted in the chat. This is what I feel.
Oh no!
That's 100% the
Oh,
vibe I
man.
got when I was watching that trailer.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
The
Kavia,
sword does not
Shit
fit.
right there.
Kavia on the box art is the cherry on top for that.
Oh, that's hot, man. I want to
That-
get that.
That is the
I'm not
Get
even
that
kidding
the
you.
latest
Like, I
bargain
get
bin.
straight ass dirge vibes from this shit.
Get that at the bargain bin of your nearest GameSpot or GameStop.
yeah.
God
I'm already trading it in right now.
damn.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh
Dude,
man.
that game
accurate.
could have been this bright and like colorful fucking world with Warrior of Light looking you were gonna collect and get different varieties for, right? With a custom character creator. And you would have fought like classic Final Fantasy bosses or villains and other enemies that looked like fucking Garland and
to be
shit.
fair, we
Instead,
really
you just
don't
get
know.
Dirge 2021.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much of it though. We saw literally Garland, and that's it. We can't really
True.
comment much on like, are there other environments? Are there other bosses? Like
That impression, and what
But the
they're
impression
talking
was
about
not
the game
good.
on Twitter too, which is like a Final Fantasy game, but it's mostly the story of an angry man.
Angry dude, bro.
That's what they're talking.
Angry
that's what they're
dude,
talking
bro.
about.
Well,
That's what the
I
story
mean-
is pushing through.
Well, that's the thing,
Stole my
Max.
girl.
It's like that's the thing. You love edgelords, and lots of people love edgelords, but he's
But
not.
this
really-
isn't good.
But he's not an edgelord. He's just like a dude, bro. I'm mad, man. Yo, man, some guy hit on my girl at the bar. I'm gonna go punch his
Look at
face.
he just came from.
the cool Final Fantasy edgelord is Kane.
Right.
It's like he just finished up his show at a
I just want
bar.
Girlfriend, and I'm pissed. I'm
Yeah.
pissed, man.
Like the design being so just sort of plain is like what gets me. I'm like, I don't get it. Was
He looks like he's part of a band that he just finished up.
did they just grab Nomura's hand while he was
What?
asleep at work and just be like, whatever he draws, that's the character design.
M just wanted a 40. He has to go to the store to get a 40 ounce.
I know, right? Colt 45. Just exactly.
This guy looks like he should be voiced by Virgil. Honestly.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, would have been funny if they got Johnny Young Bosch to do his voice.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Chaos,
That would
I need
make
more
it- That would
power.
make it a lot better if they got
Want your
Johnny to come
power.
out.
Wow.
What am I fighting?
It's up.
Dude,
Actually,
look,
no,
dude,
it's
this
up.
shit is. I'm gonna paste another link. This shit is giving me mad PS2 vibes because the second main character, I guess his name is Ash, straight looks like Chaos Legion guy.
Oh my god, that game was. Oh
Wow.
He just looks like the dude from Chaos Legion.
You are not wrong, Max. You are
What the fuck?
you are not
why are
wrong
they
at
wearing
all.
like
Just
Nikes
leave them, like,
and
just look at these
Jordans and
renders.
shit.
The game looks like a fucking PS2 game.
They look like they kind of came from the bouncer.
They're just like they're literally wearing
But-
tennis shoes.
but
What the fuck?
Bouncer-
Yeah, you're like the bouncer.
The bouncer
yeah.
had way more flair though with its
Yeah.
clothing and designs
Yeah.
though.
Dragon C Mikado.
Um,
Dude, legit. I legit thought that with Bouncer that they stole Sora's design from that game.
Oh, I know, right? I know. That's what I thought.
It looks
too,
so
actually.
uncanny.
People are
apparently,
telling me
demo.
that the trial is actually
Yeah,
up on
I just
PlayStation right now.
read that. I'm gonna.
Hold on. I'll check right
Okay,
now.
hold up. First off, hit that trailer for Hades on the Microsoft E3. Hades is on the pre-orders for PS5. I'm looking at it right now.
Yep.
No, yeah, Hades is also coming on PlayStation as
Yeah.
well. That was just at the Microsoft event.
Yeah, that makes sense. Riders Republic. I signed up for that demo.
Final
Hopefully
Fantasy
it's
confirmed
good.
an isekai. Oh, it's an isekai, is it? Oh no, is it really?
I searched Final Fantasy Origin. Nothing popped up that was brand new.
That's because you're typing in the wrong thing, fool.
Could be. Well, I mean, it would
Ranger
still
of
pop up.
Paradise.
Damn right.
Strangers
Stranger of Paradise.
in the Wild.
Just
Stranger Things,
announced.
Final Fantasy Origins.
Demo, got it. Download demo. Boom.
Oh,
That's because Al did not fucking remember what the name of the actual game was.
you
Ah.
shut up.
Boom shakalaka, let's do this.
All right, I'm gonna get something to eat. I'll talk to you guys later tonight.
All right. See you, Max.
Have a good night, man.
Strangers.